All right, good day. This is Matt Fox from frictionfreesales.com, and I'm doing a series of videos here for Chris Davis over at ActiveCampaign. After chatting with him on his podcast, I said I would show how I use a single form and a couple of blank custom fields inside ActiveCampaign to deliver all the lead magnets for my site. And it's a really simple process. In fact, the asset delivery, email, and automation is in the ActiveCampaign marketplace, and the link to that will be here on the page down below that this video is embedded in on frictionfreesales.com. And so let's get started. This is the first of a series of videos because there's going to be about 4 of them here, I believe, that I'm going to break this up into for the entire process to try to make it as simple as possible. I'm going to move fast. I've just had another cup of coffee, so my head is moving rather quickly, and I'm ready to go. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to set up the form that we're going to use on throughout our site. And the thing that we're going to have to do inside this form is we're going to have 2 custom fields. They're hidden fields, so they won't display on the form for your user to see. And so the first thing that you will do is go into your ActiveCampaign account, click on the forms up there, and first we'll go over here to Manage Fields. You can create the fields when you're creating a form, but the nice thing about when we go into Manage Fields and we create the fields inside here is we can add a couple of pieces of content which will make it easier to find the field later on your form, because you're going to have to use the HTML form, and instead of the ActiveCampaign plugin that will automatically display the form, or using the ActiveCampaign API to trigger that form. So I'm going to go into Manage Fields, and then the first thing we're going to do is click over here on the top right where it says New Custom Field, and we're going to create a hidden field. And the first name that I'm going to go back to, and I forgot to copy and paste here, is I'm going to do name of lead magnet. So we have to name the field with something. So we're going to name of lead magnet. So that is going to be this field is going to hold the name of the download, the lead magnet, the exciting option, the thing that the person is going to be downloading, that whatever the name of your download is going to be, or the product that you're going to be delivering, the free product that you're going to be delivering with this, whatever it is, you're going to put that here. So that's going to be in this custom field. And it says name of lead magnet, and that's right here. And then I'm going to click over here on edit. Cool thing about this is, so here's the name that we just had. So there's the name, and then there's this personalization tag. And we're going to need this personalization tag for the delivery aspect. For the email that is sent. So after the person subscribes, there's going to be an email that's sent to them, and you're going to put this personalization tag in the email, so it will say, hey, congratulations, welcome, or whatever you put in your email, welcome, download, and then you'll put the personalization tag. You can download and then the personalization tag, which will be replaced in the email, and I'll show you that in just a second, and it'll fill it with whatever the value is of this field for your users. And so I'm going to take this, I'm going to copy that here, and I'm going to actually put this as the default value also, name of lead magnet, so we can see it later. And so you're going to have to remember to remove this portion here, but I'm going to put that in here so we can see it later, just to make it easier. Okay. It's going to be visible in forms, and it should be, if you hit show advanced, it should be, we will put it on all your lists if you have more than one list. Okay. And I'm going to save it. And then we're going to create another custom field, another hidden custom field. Now make sure you check that these are hidden, so that they are not displayed on your users on the form itself, so that people can't see it. This one's going to be the download URL. Why is this not doing what I want? There we go. So another hidden field. It's going to be called the download URL. We're going to click add, bam, there it is. And then I'm going to go back over and I'm going to edit it. And there we go, the name, and then there is the personalization tag. Default value is going to become download URL. So if you forget to change this when you're putting the form in and somebody submits it, what will happen is the default value will become this. Okay. And so that's why we have that there. It's available on all forums. Cool. Or all lists. Bam. We are done. So now you have these two fields here. Now we're going to go back to the forms, and we're going to create a new form up here at the top right. I'm just going to call this test. Let's try it again. See if I can make it the first form so I don't have to go scrolling through things here later. And because I have a whole bunch of old forms that are on my site. Some of them are on the site, some of them aren't, but I have a whole bunch of old forms in there, and I just don't have to look for it later. And so this is the form, or this is what a form will look like. I'm not going to do any custom editing here. I'll remove the first name or the full name since I don't collect that on my site, at least not for this portion of it. And so we have the text, whatever you're going to put in here, subscribe, get my super slick fancy pants download here, la la la. Then all your bribe stuff, whatever it is, to get them to download or to enter their email address. And so this email field is going to remain on here. But over here, you should have all of your fields. So there's the standard fields that come with ActiveCampaign. And then there is a list of my fields or your fields. And if you haven't created anything, if you haven't created any custom fields of your own, this will probably be empty. You may have 1 or 2 in here or 3 in here if you've got something that integrates with ActiveCampaign in some way, like, so for all my shopping cart stuff, there's billing address and things like that. And so I'm going to go down here and try and find my field. It should be way down at the bottom. There we go. Name of lead magnet. And I'm just going to drag that over here, plop it underneath the email, and then I'm going to find the download URL. Boom. So now we have the 2 custom fields that we just cremated. They've been reduced to ash. That we just created, and there's the name of lead magnet and the download URL. Now this is a hidden field, so there is no options over here for one, and number 2 is there is no input over here for the visitor to fill out. They don't have to fill out anything on here. What we're going to do is we're going to have to fill it out on the back end ourselves later. Okay. Before we move forward here, I want to go, you can style your form however you want. If you want to do that, I'm just going to leave it plain Jane here. And then last option, oops, sorry for the ticking in the microphone there. I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to redirect to a URL, and I'm going to redirect to a URL on this dummy site that I'm setting up for this example here. And it says, welcome to the Cool Kids Club. After you opt into a site, and I just did it again. Sorry if it's snapping and popping in your ears if you're listening to this. After somebody opts into your site, they're redirected to a page on your site that says, congratulations, thank you, welcome, whatever you want to say it. So I'm going to put the URL for that here so that the website opens up or after they submit the form, it redirects to that page so you can track it as a goal in analytics if you want to do stuff like that. The other thing that I'm going to do is I use a single opt-in on these forms. So I use a process that I actually took from Mr. Chris Davis over at ActiveCampaign before he was over at ActiveCampaign. And he calls it the single double opt-in. And I love that idea. So it's a single opt-in, so they don't get the confirmation email. But I have an automation in place that says if they don't click a link or open an email within 30 days of subscribing, then they are basically removed from the list. They're opted out from the list. And so it saves me the headache of having to worry about somebody clicking the link. But also it gives me a chance, it just makes it easier. It makes the whole flow a lot easier, I think, if they're automatically opted in, and then if they don't do anything after 30 days, then they're just removed from everything. So if you're subscribing to my list and you don't do anything, you're going to be opted out after 30 days. So please open the emails. No, just kidding. Or unsubscribe if you don't want to. That's the easier thing. So anyhow, I'm turning off this double opt-in. You can leave it on, but this is a personal preference of mine, and you'll see how it works when I show you the automation in the 3rd video, I think is what it'll be here. So boom, there we go. We have the form. We have the 2 hidden fields here in the form, and now we want to integrate it with our site. If you want to, let me show you here. I'm going to copy the link to this form here. And so you can see it on the website. See? Now those two fields, if we go back here and look at the fields, boom, they're sitting right here on the form, but because they are hidden, voila, they do not display. If you want to look at them though, you can use the inspector and go over here, yada yada, and boom, here it is. Field 54, it says, is the one where it says field 54. It says value name of lead magnet. Now remember when I said we put the default value when we created the custom field at the beginning? Well, this is the value, the default value, name of lead magnet. So we know which item it is here. And then this one here, field 55, is the value is the download URL. So if somebody actually came here, typed in their name and email address, or their email address is all that's required, hit submit. When we look at the contact, it will. Well, here, let me do that. I will submit this email, and it will redirect, and I can show you what happens here. Boom, and then so we get the welcome to the Cool Kids Club. And I am going to save and exit this here. Move over to the contacts. Find this thing here. So I have go over to the contact. I found the contact here. And so as we see, so this is the contact that I just submitted for my email address. And we have the name of lead magnet, download URL, So those are the default values that we entered. Okay. It's put me in a couple of automations. It's put me in the list here, the frictionfreesales.com update list. And so what does that say? Process, original subscription data. So I went through a couple of automations that run on the background. And boom, we are up and rolling. So it works, and it automatically submitted with those values. And so what we're going to do next is I'm going to show you the automations that run in the background when someone submits the URL, and how to take the value from those two fields and deliver the asset that you want to deliver to the person, so that way you aren't having to create multiple forms, et cetera, et cetera. So stay tuned, or click on over to the second video and watch that one after this.